Hello, friends. I really hope you enjoyed that brain break. I bet that was a good activity to get your body moving and get some blood flowing and get some energy out, right? Well, this is part 2 of your reading lesson today. Again, I'm Mrs. Taima, and I'm going to go over what you're going to be doing in your lesson, the second part of your lesson today. So yesterday with Miss Singleton, you talked about starting your assessment 24A, your focusing question task 4. Now, yesterday you were to insert an image of your organizer, okay, where you wrote down sensory words from the scene that you chose. And then you were to record a Flipgrid telling your teacher, describing the scene that you chose using those sensory words that you wrote down and telling how Irene was feeling. So now you are going to be turning in today a picture of your writing that you did using those sensory words to describe that scene. So first, we're going to go over the expectations for your focusing question task 4 one more time so that you're really clear about what you're supposed to be doing. It says your task is to write to describe the moment on page 6 when the wind drove Irene along so rudely, or page 10 when the ill-tempered wind ripped the box open. So you choose one of those two scenes. Then it says, write sentences, write. That's the key word. You're going to write it down, not just insert another picture of your organizer from yesterday, but you're actually going to write it down in complete sentences, okay? So write sentences that describe what Irene saw, felt, and heard, and how she felt in terms of her emotions. How was she feeling when this was happening? By using evidence from the text. So we can't just guess how she was feeling. We need to use words and clues from that section of the text that you choose to help describe how she was feeling. Okay? And Mrs. Spears will go over some suggestions with you in the video to tell you, and she did it yesterday too, I believe. But you can always go back to yesterday's assignment and rewatch that assignment or rewatch that video if you have any questions, okay? But it says, be sure to include all of the following in your response. Sensory and feeling words, including adjectives. Remember, an adjective is a describing word. To describe what the wind was like and how Irene felt. Okay, now you can write this down in your journal if you would like to. You can write it down on a blank piece of paper. Also, if you have any paper that looks like this left over from your third quarter curriculum bags, you can use this paper as well. But please make sure that whenever you insert a picture of your work on the next slide, that it's of your writing, your complete sentences, not the organizer again, okay? All right. Then this is the slide where you will insert a picture of your writing. And it says, insert a picture of your writing on this slide. Remember, if you can't see it, your teacher cannot see it either. Make sure it is a clear picture, okay? If it's not clear, your teacher will have to ask you to do it over again. So let's do it right the first time, get it done, okay? All right, friends, you're gonna listen to Miss Spears. She's got a follow-up lesson for you about this section of the lesson. And then I cannot wait to see your writing, and I know your teacher cannot wait to see it as well. So good luck and have fun.
Welcome back, friends. Now we're going to review Assessment 24A, Focusing Question Task 4. Listen carefully as I read the task. Write to describe the moment on page 6 when the wind drove Irene along so rudely, or page 10 when the ill-tempered wind ripped the box open. Write sentences that describe what Irene saw, felt and heard, and how she felt in terms of her emotions using evidence from the text. Checklist for success. Be sure to include all of the following in your response. Sensory and feelings words, including adjectives to describe what the wind was like and how Irene felt. All right, remember, you're going to use handout 24A, the Brave Irene evidence organizer that you use to complete and rehearse your sentences. And remember, if you don't have the handout, you should have the evidence organizer created in your journal. Okay, so let's take a moment to review the evidence organizer. The first part of the organizer says to circle a scene from Brave Irene to write about. So you should have either circled choice 1, the wind drove Irene along so rudely, or choice 2, the ill-tempered wind ripped the box open. And remember, if you didn't have the handout, you should have written one of those choices in your journal. Okay, the next part. Write sensory and feelings words to describe what Irene saw, heard, and felt during the scene, and how Irene felt in terms of her emotions during the scene. Okay, friends, now that we have reviewed Assessment 24A, which is a focusing question task 4, as well as the Brave Irene evidence organizer, you are going to get ready to describe the scene by writing sentences to describe what Irene saw, felt, and heard. Are you ready? Okay, now that you know what you're going to write, your classroom teacher will tell you where to complete your work and how to turn it into them. All right, awesome first graders. Nice job reflecting on the knowledge and skills you have learned from the text Brave Irene. Next time we'll be looking at a new text, but until then, be kind and do something great because you are capable of greatness.